I'm Natalie and this is James, and this is our home, Zephyr. We have been sailing around the world for the past 4 years, and now we have got a couple of stowaways on board. Meet Flint and Kira, two puppy Weimaraners that are joining the adventure. Subscribe and welcome to our channel, Sailing Zephyr. Both at the window. So we're going to do a shop now.
Yep.
And then we're going to take you through our weather planning to go offshore.
Yeah, we're going to do a run. We're going to go Wrightsville to Fernandina Beach. It's about 280 miles, nautical miles. And yeah, it should take us just over 2 days.
This walk here that we're doing, we've done it a lot of times now, but it's a bit of a mission, isn't it, James?
Yeah, it takes us
50 minutes walk each way, but we get to go to Lidl.
Yeah, cheap groceries. It's actually quite a beautiful walk, and the sun is shining. It's just freezing cold.
Right now.
Alright.
That's it, done. Yeah. All right, back to the doggos, right? So for people provisioning, what tips would you give them? Like, how do we normally do it?
So, what are some things we've learned over the years? Good tips. So for us, it's all about saving money and getting good value, like the most amount of food, but decent food for the amount of money we spend. All right, Wheels, do your thing. Yoink. Do your research. The supermarkets that always tend to be closest to the anchorages, in our experience, are generally the most expensive.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to walk,
it's way cheaper.
You'll find cheaper. So this walk, yeah, it took us a half hour to 45 minutes, but you know, if we went to the local, what is it, the food lines or whatever.
Aristida.
Oh yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have got half as much food for what we spent, so.
Alright, so we're back on the boat. As you can see, we've put all the food away. The bubbaroos are eating their food now, their dinner. And it's non-stop on this boat. We are off now to take them for a walk. And then we're going to settle in and relax because that was a very big walk to do provisioning. But what James didn't finish saying as we were crossing, we were about to cross the street.
What was I saying? Oh,
so what we were talking about is how to provision and what we kind of do. And James was talking about the fact that obviously if you walk a bit further, you get better deals, da 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 da. But the thing that I wanted to point out was that we tend to do the bulk of the dry goods, so pasta, rice, all that kind of stuff, when we have a car available. So we'll do a big shop of that. Then we've got the car so we can haul it all back, put it in the bilge, stuff it away somewhere. And then what we do now is just top up on the fresh stuff. Mm-hmm. So you would have seen today we were just getting a lot of lettuce, a lot of treats, but all the fresh goods, essentially fruit, vegetables, that's what we need to keep topping up. And then any dairy. We drink a lot of milk, so the milk. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the best way I think we found to do it. And that's the best way that works for us, especially because we don't like to Uber back and forth because it's more money. So if you're gonna walk, then you just need to be able to get the essentials, what you need. We're gonna take these guys to the beach, and then when we come back, we're gonna go through weather planning for our next offshore, what we do, what we look at, all that kind of stuff.
All the factors.
Everything that we take into account.
I've got one more top tip.
What's your top tip?
One more top tip for provisioning. If you're somewhere where there's a bunch of other cruisers, it's worth running around and seeing if anybody else needs to provision, because then you might be able to all chip in a car and save money. And then we've done this in the past, and you all just go off and use the car at different times and provision, and then that way you split the cost. And if, you know, if a car's $50 and three couples chip in.
Look how full this is looking. It's looking good.
Hey, yeah.
Oh,
the covers are full.
Yeah.
Fridge is full.
Fridge is full.
Freezer's full.
All right. Are we ready to go to the beachy?
Who wants to go to the beach?
We ready to go? Okay, let's take the jumpers off.
Look at that stump.
It's so cold. Hey, Luke, give me some more.
Okay.
You swimming? Benty. What is she getting now? These are the two Andrews.
What's going on? Andrew squared.
That's
Andrew
right.
Squared, right.
Hi, Lucy.
I think we were
Okay, round 2 of this. Yesterday we ended up meeting our friends on the beach in the afternoon with their dog Lucy, and we ended up having a big night with them.
Oh yeah.
Totally unplanned, and we went over. It was great because there was like a little flotilla going by with the parade of lights and stuff, so we got to watch that on their boat with them. So we didn't end up doing the weather planning. We're going to do that today, but we need to get fuel, number 1, and 2, do some laundry. There's a marina here in Wrightsville that allows you to do laundry even if you're at anchor. We're hoping, so we'll take you along for that and see if that's true.
Oh, it's still so cold.
These are all the jerry cans we've got to fill, and we've got our laundry, and they're amazing at this marina. So nice. We can even go and sit in the warmth in there.
Oh yeah. Keep on. Yep.
We have been answering, I've been answering comments on YouTube, and James has been doing a bit of work on the laptop, so it's been perfect. The doggies, we've just taken a photo on our barnacle to see what they're up to. They're fast asleep. And it is still very cold out.
Very good.
Okay, let's get this laundry done, skis.
So as promised, I'm going to take you through all of the weather planning in relation to the trip we have coming up. So again, we're going Wrightsville Beach to Fernandina Beach. It's about 280 nautical miles. So we got a couple days at sea. So weather is going to be paramount for us in terms of we won't have access to it once we're far enough offshore because we don't have Starlink or anything like that, and we're not going to activate our Iridium Go because it's really expensive. So we need to make sure that we pick a very good weather window, something that looks like it's going to be stable enough for our trip and maybe another day past it in case we're slow, and just make sure that there's nothing that's going to be, you know, coming 2 days later that could, should we get stuck out at sea for longer than we intended, we're not going to get caught in a big storm or something like that. So we're going to look at a few factors when planning this passage, because the east coast of the United States is a little tricky because you have things like the Gulf Stream, which is a big body of current that runs from south to north, and we're going to be going opposite to that. So we're using the predict wind system here, and we're going to be looking at wind, current. We're going to be looking at the tides for our exit and entry out of the intercoastal waterway. And then, of course, you know, we want to look at the sea state for the duration of the trip and how is that going to be. Is there some residual storm swell that's still kicking around that's going to make the start of our passage really uncomfortable? Is it going to improve? What's the direction of the swell, the size of the swell, the period of the swell? We use the Predict Wind platform. It's excellent. They have, how many models do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 weather models now that you can compare with. So that's a lot of sources to get some great information to see whether your trip is going to line up. With this platform, we're going to plot our route. We're then going to look at the weather over the next several days and see where our best weather window lines up, when we should depart. Obviously, we have like an average speed that we sort of calculate at most of the time. So that's what we'll do. All right, good morning, everybody. We are off, but we're not 100% sure. And what I mean by that is we have a dilemma. We've been watching the weather forecast, and there's a little bit of a differencing opinion between Nat and I, but it's pretty much almost aligned. I feel like the wind might have sort of shifted a bit forward of the beam for the first 24 hours. Nat reckons it's pretty much the same, and I've just got jitters because we haven't sailed offshore in a while. And she's probably right. But everything's ready. We got the boat inside organized. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it up to chance. And what we mean by that is there's a catamaran leaving, and when you get to the end, you either turn left and you go out of the inlet and start your passage, or you turn right and you do the ICW. So I don't know. I'm probably just psyching myself out. But if we do go, it should be a fast passage, 2 days of like 15 knot winds. So on the beam-ish. But anyways, boat's ready, everything's stored inside. We're gonna weigh anchor, and as we get down here behind this catamaran, we're basically gonna say if he turns left and goes offshore, we're going offshore. If he goes right into the ICW, we'll do the next leg of the ICW and then pop out tomorrow. But all right, let's go. We're gonna pick up the anchor and get going. Well, quick update. We brought the hook up and catamarans turn left, so we're going offshore. Well, that's it. Sails are out. We had a bit of a kerfuffle because it was super gusty, and we were trying to figure out our course, but we're all good. You hear that? It's dead quiet. We're moving, so nice. And the engine is not running. So we are pretty darn happy. Yeah, so we'll just settle in, see how we go. We're pretty close to shore still. We're gonna go around Southport. They have these shoals. We gotta go a few miles around them called the Frying Pan Shoals. And then we'll just point it to Fernandina Beach. Let's go. Alright, so quick update. We are bailing in the Southport. The conditions just got worse. Coming in the dark to somewhere you've never been is always a bit nerve-wracking. Okay. Nicely done, huh? If you'd like to be a part of the journey and become a patron, go to the link you see here on the screen. Another way you can support us is by hitting that subscribe button.